part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello.
What's up?
I'm just going to say it.
What are you going to say?
The Pizza Hut Detroit-style pizza does not suck.
It does not suck. I don't know that I want to go so far as to say it's good.
I'll go so far as to say there's only 2 pieces left.
Well, yeah. I was hungry, and it doesn't suck. Now, that being said, you've watched me eat all kinds of
How
things.
many poor decisions in life have you made? I was hungry, and it doesn't suck.
Oh, so many. I don't even know that I could keep count of that.
Anyway,
And not all of them involve food.
Anyway. This is the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the sports collector.
As always, we're brought to you by the Press Play Podcast Network. If you haven't checked them out, check them out right now. I'm Jason Otero.
I'm Gary LeMaster.
Let's jump right into this.
Let's do it.
This is a podcast about sports cards.
It is. I feel like occasionally you think that you're ready to say something, and then your brain blanks, and then you just say something random like that.
I'm confused by your tactics. John C. Reilly, Talladega Nights. I got to be honest, I'm confused with your tactics.
Such a good movie. Such a quotable movie.
Anyway.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Sometimes I like to pause because it makes you uncomfortable. Have you noticed that when I do it, I always make direct eye contact?
Yeah, and it's really weird because if this was a video podcast, a vlog, a YouTube cast, whatever you'd like to call it,
Nobody says either.
everyone would get that.
Yeah.
But since they're only listening to it, it just sounds like dead air when you do that.
You know, tonality is a huge part of our communication.
That's
so
fair.
when I say something and then you come back with a reaction, people can pick up on that.
Right, but you know what they can't pick up on? You stare me in the eye during their dead silence.
That would be an entire website called My OnlyFans page. It's just me
Just staring you in the eyes
in a loincloth, sitting in a chair, hot and sweaty.
Oh, leather chair.
I just got done mowing with jeans
Fresh
on.
leather chair.
Pleather.
Oh, even worse.
No pores.
Starts to pull a little bit.
I just slide
Peel.
off of it like a water slide.
Oh.
But eye contact with the camera. It's just, you pay per minute. How long can you make it?
0 seconds.
So I've been
That's
told.
how far I make it.
All right, let's jump right into this. A little bit of hobby news. We're being a little rowdy and rambunctious today.
We are. You said slide off the leather couch, and all it made me think about, do you remember the toy that was like a balloon that was filled with water, but it like had a center and it would like slide through your hands and you'd get it wet and it would just like jump all over the place? You're looking at me right now because of what I'm doing with my hands. Nobody else can see it.
had a vlog.
I'm just saying. Anyhow, you said that, it made me think of that. So go ahead. Sorry, hobby news.
Thanks for that visual. Derek Jeter's getting in on the game.
He is. I think he's a little too late, but he's trying.
He's pushing his own version, if you will, of PWCC called Arena Club. So maybe break down for me what's different when it comes to this versus PWCC, other than the name Derek Jeter, which is a thing.
It is. I think that I think that they were talking in the press release that they've got about $9 million invested in this so far, which to do what they're trying to do,
not a lot in this
that's
space.
a chump change. That's
Chump change, Jeter. Where's that Jordan money?
I think the thought process is that his name is going to be worth a lot of the advertising and marketing dollars that they would be putting into something. But what they're doing is they're trying to launch a marketplace. The way that the press release read, it was confusing to me as to whether they're trying to do their own in-house grading and launching a new grading service with this, or whether they are going to use existing grading services, but they are going to vault everything. Everything you store with them in their vault will be assigned a unique
I'm bored.
ID number. Yeah, and then you can trade and sell and keep things in the vault.
This is just mainly for investors.
Yeah, and it's a PWCC clone, just on a shoestring budget, which, I mean, I think that's our next thing. Didn't PWCC just get $175 million funding round?
Yeah, they got a funding round, and then they're also pitching something new that they're doing with.
It's kind of new. So they've done it for a while. I know a few people have taken advantage of it, but it hasn't been a service that they've offered like as an offering. It's just something that they have offered individually to some of their really high-end customers. But much like in crypto, there are certain wallets and certain exchanges that you can take loans out against your holdings. PWCC is now going to be offering you the ability to take cash loans out against cards that you have stored in their vault. I don't know exactly what the details of that look like, but that's what a big part of this funding round was for, is to get that infrastructure set up and be ready to go with it. If you've got 20 base Zion Williamson PSA 10 sitting in their vault, it's probably not going to help you very much. But if you've got a 2001 Topps Update Chrome Albert Pujols auto rookie PSA 10 that's worth $300,000 and you need $150,000 in cash pretty quick, and you don't necessarily want to sell the card, it's a great option.
Yeah. I'm bored with this side of the hobby.
It was quick.
Not what
6 minutes into the
wasn't
episode.
you. It wasn't you. It's just everybody warehousing stuff and StockXing, and
yeah, I think that
you lose a little bit of the collectability.
Again, you got two kinds of people really in this hobby. Three, I guess, kind of. One is you have the pure, unadulterated collectors, and they don't care what something's worth.
They don't care what the comps were.
Yeah, they want what they want. They go buy it, and a lot of them collect weird stuff that you can find in 10 and 15 cent boxes, quarter boxes, and they'll spend hours digging through it. That's a very small subset. Then you have what I think is the biggest subset, which is people like you and me who are smack in the middle. We have some mid to lower high-end stuff, and we both collect and invest, and a lot of times our collections are investments that will move for the right price.
They keep us in the hobby.
Yeah. And then you have another very small subset that are pure investors that only invest in really high-end stuff.
They're day trading, basically.
Yeah, and they're moving around, and it's a small group, and a lot of money moves around between that group.
If I had a $300,000 card, I'd be thinking of the best ways to protect that.
I would be thinking of paying off my house. Personally.
Boring. All right. Other hobby news. One of my least favorite football products comes out. Donruss Elite NFL.
It's a weird product. It's a First Pro Uni product.
First Pro Uni.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of numbered star stuff.
Yep. It's
and
not
some
crazy
of those
expensive.
Some of those will hold a little bit of value. I think I remember hitting some second year Joe Burrow stuff numbered to 100 and all that.
Yeah, $10, $15 cards.
Exactly. There's
Pay
a
for
lot
the
of that
blaster.
stuff. A lot of that stuff in there. Here's my problem with them. Off the line, the way these cards are made struggles. It's not a complete chromium card.
Right.
It's not a matte finish. And so
The foil. Very difficult grades.
And the foil will droop and sag off of the front of the card.
The
chip.
edges are really prone
Let me
to chip.
finish my sentence.
No!
Okay. But yeah, I'm not it's not my favorite product.
I'd rather have base Donruss.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if I would sound silly.
Yeah, no, I would rather have base Donruss.
Yeah.
So growing up, the rated rookie was a big deal as a kid. So now it's still a big deal to me. I like to get at least one of the rated rookies of all the prospects every year and, have them in hand. I think I've sold all my Josh Allens because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, that product's going to be out soon.
Gold Standard, I think, comes out next week.
I like that one a little bit better.
Oh, I hate Gold Standard. I'd rather have Elite.
The logo's weird.
The logo is weird. The only good thing about Gold Standard is they do have those black cards with the gold auto.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the gold auto looks like crap because it was real wispy almost. It wasn't a nice bold auto.
That's how we feel about those two products.
Yeah, it is.
Up next is some MLB news.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
I agree with you.
I think that they've been listening to us about how they need to make this sport more marketable. And after considering what the Ball Card Show said, last week there was an announcement dropped. Dad was texting me about it today. The MLB schedule for 2023 has every team playing a series with every other team at some point.
Pretty cool.
That's very cool. You get a lot of
Agreed.
interleague play with something that was kind of a little bit of a special thing. And then you had the COVID leagues, which was kind of my favorite setup. I loved how they did that, where they just divided up the country geographically. And then
that was aggressive.
Now we're talking about being able to see that. So, but think of how many people have been like avid, baseball attendees, or they've gone and seen every team, or they're trying to check that off their bucket list, and teams that have never been to their area are finally coming to town.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool. It gives kids more access to the stars. If you're in a division that sucks, you're going to get to see the superstars. For the hobby, it's going to circulate a few more autos. It's going to circulate some more autos for sure. People are going to be hunting down the stars, and if you're a star player and you're somebody that does autographs and you're in a city you never get to go to and you get a lot of love, one would think that you might be a little bit responsive to that market.
Speaking of cities that you've never been to, and this has nothing to do with the major league teams playing each other, which is a cool piece of news, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
But Anthony Volpe got called up to a city he's never been to before. He got the call up to AAA.
Ooh.
So I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Where's that AAA program? Raleigh-Durham still?
AA Somerset. No, it's in Pennsylvania. Is it
Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah, it's Wilkes-Barre.
Okay. I knew it was a 2-word something.
He got called up, which I love, because the Yankees brought up Oswald Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera. They brought them both up. And everybody was like, oh, they're going to trade Volpe now. No, they brought Oswald Peraza up to showcase him because he's the one they're trading. If Anthony Volpe was tradable, Juan Soto would be a Yankee right now.
Wow.
If Anthony Volpe was tradable, Juan Soto would be a Yankee
He's not established yet, bud.
He was the prospect that was the reason Juan Soto talks to the Yankees died, because they said he is not touchable. Mm-hmm. The Yankees love all the things that I loved about Volpe. He's born in the Bronx. He was raised in the Bronx. He's played his high school baseball in New York. He is a Yankee. Like, it is an absolute no-brainer. His floor is so high and his ceiling could be crazy good. Jeter with more pop is the ceiling.
Wow.
That's the ceiling. So, yeah. I was excited to see Volpe get called up. It's that time of year where you're getting some weird stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's shown that he has a tendency to struggle for about a month when he gets called up somewhere until he adjusts. So bringing him up at the end of the year, letting him get those struggles out of the way right now, and then go into spring training next year with a chance to make the big league roster, probably come up in June would be my guess. But anyway, totally unrelated, but yeah, thought I would throw that out there.
Oh, other news we forgot.
What's that?
We threw it on our Facebook pages, but the 2023
the Topps design. Yeah, I love it.
Overall, I'm very pleased. I would agree with some of you that chimed in on Facebook that the rookie badge is in kind of a weird location.
I think it fits, and I like the fact that it's there because it's in the same spot on every card. Right now, the rookie card badge can be top left corner. It can be top
true.
Right. And
do you think it'll be
in the same spot? Something
that lends to a little bit easier pre-grading?
It looks the card itself looks like it's going to be relatively simple to determine centering.
Yeah.
I like this design. So every 20 years, Topps brings us this type of design out. So, 63 was the first time they had the headshot imposed, and then 83 they did it again, in 2003, and now 2023 they're doing it again. I thought the design it's the best design they've had in 3 years.
Yeah.
I really, really liked it. 2018 was pretty good. 2019 wasn't terrible, but this is the best design.
You and I didn't split a case this year.
We didn't split a case this year, I think mostly because we burn out on...
We were mad about the price gouging, I think.
Yeah. 2023 should be interesting.
Not that Topps was super expensive.
Yeah, I passed up today. I saw a retail box, full 24-pack retail box sitting at Target today for $85, and I didn't buy it. No. Only thing I'm chasing in there is Julio and Bobby Witt, and if I spend $85 and don't hit either one of them, I'm going to be angry.
For sure.
Just go buy a Bobby Witt.
I want to talk about pickups, and then I want you to talk about your card show that you went to, which you robbed.
Listen,
it went really well. I know. No, quiet down.
Do your thing. Talk.
It's going to be really quick. I got real nostalgic for the late 90s, early 2000 Reds players. And I went and got Jay Bruce on card auto to $3.99.
You sent me a picture of that.
Very cool. Austin Kearns Upper Deck baseball swatch auto.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah. The
where he
sweet
signs
spots.
extra
Yeah,
sweet
the sweet
spot
spot.
auto.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Did you get a Sean Casey? You need a Sean
I
Casey.
had a Sean Casey.
You have a Sean Casey auto?
I did. It was I got
Red Genie or Pirate Genie?
Reds.
Okay, there you go. I love Sean Casey.
What was it? Oh, I picked up. I just showed you the Chris Olave. It's the first
yeah.
Bowman U card that I purchased.
Yep.
I spent like $15 on this. I did have a lot of cards that I was trying to buy on eBay, and last minute it got taken out from under me. There was what was the Donruss? It was the Diamond Kings David Cone, but it was a retro something where it was an autographed on-card auto David Cone to like 35.
David Cone was a pitcher for a minute there.
Yeah. It had Concepcion auto to, it was another low number, 25. It's a sticker auto. And then it had an Eric Davis Generation Now auto, which is what drew me in. And I had that sucker until the last minute, but I wasn't paying attention. Someone got it for me. But you...
I mean,
don't get cockier.
I'm not.
I can see it. If, folks at home, right now his body language is, he thought I was giving him a compliment, and I wasn't. I thought about it, and I stopped, and he started giving himself the compliment before he started a sentence. He's enjoying this so much. This story is going to be the best version I've heard yet. I've heard two versions. The second one was better than the first. The third one's going to be even better.
So
Mike Trout came down from the heavens, and he said, "Gary, will you sign this football for me? It's from DeGraff High School." And I have JSA at the next booth.
Oh, go Pirates. No, so I've had several people that I've talked to this week that have said the same thing, and this tends to be a theme with me when I go to shows, and it's not that I'm doing anything special, it's just that I'm not afraid of it, and I think a lot of people are afraid. That's the only difference. But I went to the show Xenia, Ohio. If you are in Ohio, first weekend of every month, Xenia has a show, and it is always really good. Really good. It's a Saturday. There's usually 150 to 175 tables, two buildings. One building will usually be about half full, and then one building will be completely packed. And it was just, I took my slab case with me, a few raw cards, and I walked out with about $350 more than I walked in with, and I made some crazy trades.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Oh, wait.
What?
Do you want to tell us what you got?
Well, I will if you want me to. If you don't want me to, we can go on.
I thought you were just...
Oh, no, you were... No, so I made a few really crazy trades. A guy that I'm big on this year is Jameis Winston. If he's healthy, I think he's going to put up some stupid numbers. But I had pulled the night before this show. I had found a single optic hanger box at our Meijer that's like 5 minutes from my house. It was a dented corner box. Every other optic product had been pulled out of there by flippers. They left the one with a crushed corner on the box because it's harder to sell. I bought it, pulled it downtown. It was a Dan Marino downtown. I was shocked at what the Dan Marino downtown was selling for. Jason said he needed it.
I was disappointed.
I said, I'll sell it to you for the lowest comp out there. Comps range from $225 to $300.
And what did I tell you?
You said, I'll wait 3 months till it's $150.
Yeah.
Which is smart on your part.
Yeah.
So I pulled that, and it was really
looks
clean.
cool.
It is a cool card. Very clean card, too. Very gradable card. The very first table that I stopped at this show, I looked in their showcase, and they had a Jameis Winston rookie Prism Auto to 99, the red. So it's the color match to his Tampa Bay jersey. Clean card. Dead centered. Front surface super clean. Back surface super clean. Bottom left corner on the back is just barely touched. White. I think I can clean it up. It's going to go into grading. So, and I had a Davis Mills Spectra RPA to 99. I traded the Marino and the Mills for the Jameis Winston and like $180 in cash. So I felt like I came out way ahead on that. Then I picked up a Larry Fitzgerald SGC 9 Topps rookie for $15. Super clean card. I'll probably crack it and resub it. I traded a Trevor Lawrence optic blue hyper, and $20 cash for a press pass die cut PSA 10 Peyton Manning rookie.
That is my favorite one that you picked up.
It's a Pop 41 card.
Yeah.
I traded a Trevor Lawrence slightly off center hyper blue optic and $20 for it. Is it a super valuable card? No, but it's a Pop 41 Peyton Manning rookie and a really tough grade.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up another Peyton Manning rookie, a PSA 8, for a Donruss blue press proof Jamar Chase CSG 10, and the guy gave me the Peyton Manning and like $30 cash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked up these 3 Calvin Johnson rookies and cash. I had a select Jalen Hurts silver field level CSG 10 that I picked up in Chicago at the show up there. And I've had for a while now an FCG 9.5, but super clean, at 210 subgrades and 295 subgrades. Josh Allen rookie from Classics, but it's the Optichrome numbered to 175. I traded those 2 cards for 3 graded Calvin Johnson Bowman Chrome rookies, 2 of them numbered.
Did he know they were numbered?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 of them numbered, 1 of them non-numbered. I have a PSA 9 and PSA 10 numbered and a CSG 9.5 non-numbered in the new case, and $130 or $150 for those 2 cards.
There's deals to be had out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was a crazy fun show. Lots of great vendors to talk to. Hopefully, I'll be set up there first weekend of December. That's the goal.
It seems like people have been a lot more. Early on, the Facebook groups was a place where you made more deals. You could move stuff quickly. And then over the last couple of years, as people went real heavy in ultra modern and bought at the top, and now they're taking some losses, there don't seem to be as many deals. Not as easily made on Facebook, and maybe the face-to-face interactions, good. I think it's good for the hobby. I think it is.
It's always good for the hobby. And the best part about these shows, if you don't go to a lot of shows, I would really recommend finding a decent-sized one. When people talk about the health of the hobby, the one thing that I enjoy the most about shows, even when I'm set up as a vendor, is there's tons of kids. Tons of kids at these shows, and they all know what they're doing. You'll have 10, 11-year-olds that are wanting to trade, and they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll walk away from a bad deal. They're, and I think the
That's allowance, bro.
Yeah, the long-term future of the hobby looks pretty bright. There's a lot of young people that are embracing this hobby. So
yeah. I think that's really good. That's like the last 2 shows in a row you've gone to. There've been a lot of good deals out there.
Yeah. Yep.
And the people that are kind of being a pain that you would deal with on Facebook just don't sell stuff at shows. They just set up and pay a fee.
Yeah, and and it's you can feel it out pretty quick. And
well, some of them just need to move 1 or 2 monster cards a year for them to keep telling their spouse that that's their job.
Go to shows and be personable. Yep. Like, that's the biggest thing. Don't be a jerk, and you'll find good deals.
All right, I'm really excited for what we're about to do next.
Yeah, let's do it.
Brand new, first time ever segment called Ballin' on a Budget.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's going to stick, better name, but it makes sense.
If you have a better name for this, please tell us on social so we can consider it.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to break it down, and then once I finish up, if I forget anything, make sure to let me know, okay?
Yep.
We are with a fictitious budget of $1,000.
Yep.
Okay? We are looking at current NFL players, and we are building out a offensive 6. All right.
Skill positions.
So skill positions, we're doing 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers.
11 personnel.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I said when I'm done.
11 personnel.
Oh my gosh, this game.
You know what that means?
Nobody cares.
1 running back, 1 tight end.
Cool. That was fun.
Okay.
$1,000. And what you're doing is you're filling out these positions, and we're trying to go off of a PSA 10. Hopefully there's a Prism. If not, then as close as you can get to the Prism base rookie. You have to fill all the positions in less than $1,000. At the end of the football season, we're going to see who has made the greatest margin. So if I only spent $500 and my cards are worth $1,500, but Gary spent $1,000 of his budget and his cards are worth $1,500, I would win because I had $1,000.
You tripled. I only had a 50%
gain.
Neither one of us has $500 though.
No. And neither one of us are spending real money yet. But this time we didn't have a lot of overlap like we did with baseball.
Yep, zero overlap.
And we both stayed within our budget. First try for me. Was it first try for you?
Yep.
And then there was probably 2 cards where I was like, I should go get that now because that is a really good value.
Yep.
Okay. So do you want to go, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go by position? Or do you want to go in order of the cheapest to the most expensive?
Let's go position by position, and we'll each talk about our picks.
Okay.
At the position. So go like quarterback and then running back, then receiver, and we'll do one at a time.
My first 2 are not Prism base because they weren't available.
Too old.
But all the rest of them are.
Okay.
Do you want me to kick it off?
Yeah. What position are we doing first?
Quarterback first,
Okay.
and I went with Matt Ryan. 08 Topps Chrome PSA 10s going for about 175, averaging out the last few sales. Here's why I think that this is a great buy and why I pick Matt Ryan's QB. Indy's really good. And there are so many weapons on this team that Matt Ryan is going to shine this year. He has experience to make a playoff run. And one thing I've noticed about the football market, if you make the playoffs, it's like there's exponential growth in a different way compared to the MLB market. The NFL market, the media push, there's so much hype around it. It just has a lot. It's probably more exciting to the general public. I think Matt Ryan's a good buy. 175 is what it cost me to get Matt Ryan. Oh, we should say our total amount first. So I spent $926 on my whole team.
I spent $905.
$905 to $926. So Matt Ryan, 08 Topps Chrome, PSA 10, $175. Who you got at QB?
I like that pick. And you know where I stand with the Colts. I think they're going to win at least 12 games. I think it's a good team.
Just to be clear, you did say 13 the first time.
I said 12 to 13.
No.
Yes, I did.
12 to 13?
12 to 13 wins.
God, I hope they win 14 just for you.
Yeah, no.
Or 11.
If they do, that'd be cool, but I don't think they will. Okay, so I went a different direction. This was the highest budget piece in my set here. I went with Jameis Winston. His 2015 Silver Prism is about $350. Very low pop. And I think that at the very beginning of last year, before he got hurt, he looked like he might throw 50 touchdowns. I don't know that he'll throw 50, but if he stays healthy all year and Alvin Kamara is functional in the running game and Michael Thomas stays healthy, it would not shock me to see him throw 40 and throw for 4,500 yards and then be right in the thick of the playoff race. And I could easily see that card being a $600 card by mid to late season.
Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know that I think the Matt Ryan has potential to hit 300. I think it could go up another $100 on that.
Yep.
If they make a deep playoff run. Up next, running back. As best I could tell, Silver was the only option. 2016, is that accurate? 2016 is
Who is it?
Derrick Henry.
Correct.
But Silver was the only comp that I could find
Correct.
anywhere. And this is my most expensive card. $360 is what it would cost you right now. Thereabouts to buy a Derrick Henry Silver Prism PSA 10. People are sleeping on him somehow. Like there's a lot more mixture. Sleeping is not the right word. There's a lot less excitement about him.
Correct.
Going into this year. I don't think there's a good reason for that.
Well, there is a good reason for it. It's because he's had 9 trillion carries in the last 3 years.
The man's a machine.
He is, but there's so much data to back up the idea that when a running back reaches a certain number of carries that the decline is inevitable.
He's going to get a lot of touches.
Yes, he is.
A lot of touches.
Yep.
Highlight reels. I would agree that he is going to be overrun this year, but that's kind of what I'm banking on is that the fantasy hype of him getting 1 billion touches a game and him being such a specimen that he's going to fall for 3.5 yards a carry puts it in a spot where I think that's a good play. I don't think you'll double your money on that at 360, but I think you could get, $50 to $100 profit by the end of the year on that.
I went with Saquon Barkley, 2018 Prism base. PSA 10 is $70. 2 years ago, it was a $400 card. Saquon, by all accounts, is as healthy as he's been since he's been in the NFL. Everybody from the New York media to the team to the coaches say he looks as explosive as he has ever looked. It won't take much for him to see that card go to 2 to 250 again if he really
Yeah.
comes out. I mean, if he goes up to his potential, he rushes for 1,500 yards and has 800 yards receiving and scores 15 touchdowns, I think you could triple your money on that card.
Ultra modern collectors are invested in players that have taken a dip. You will see a ton of hype on a Saquon because people invested so heavily in him and they're not in a great position. So on the investor side, I think it's good for you absolutely right now. He puts up a few crazy. He'll do a highlight reel. He'll hurdle somebody or truck them.
Yep.
And you'll see some excitement. Similar, Saquon has that NBA factor within the hobby.
Yeah, he could have a game where he has 280 total yards.
Yep.
180 rushing, 100 receiving. You're just at 3 touchdowns. You're like, holy crap.
Tight end next. Only $90. 2017 Prism, Darren Waller is who I'm going with here.
Okay.
Now, there's a little bit of concern. I did draft him on my fantasy league as well. He has been nursing a hamstring injury going into the season. A little bit of speculation, is he completely healthy? But everything that I'm hearing and seeing about this team is that if he's doing well, if he's healthy, he's going to get a lot of touches, and he's going to be a key player in that program. $90, I think this is somebody. Now, it's a tight end, but I do think this card could be $150 to $200 at the end of the year if that team figures out how to gel together. There's still some speculation. People aren't really sure that they'll have it figured out, but
Yeah.
I think they will. I think people are excited about the market, the new stadium. I think at some point, the stars have to align for Carr, right?
Well, the thing about David Carr is this. Like, if you go just look at his career numbers, there's no plausible explanation for why he languishes in the hobby. Like, dude is legit. Every season he's been healthy, he has played really, really well. It was interesting. So I want to tell our listeners this because you were surprised. If you are looking for Darren Waller rookies, you're looking for Baltimore Ravens wide receivers.
Yep.
Okay.
2017 Baltimore Ravens wide receiver, and the 10 was $90.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about him? I mean,
Darren Waller, I think he's a fine player. I think that hamstring bothered him last year. The fact that it's carrying over into this year is a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
I think adding Devontae Adams means that touches are going to probably go down a little bit between him and Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams.
Man, that's some weapons.
Unless they throw the ball 60 times a game, it's going to be tough for them all to get the volume that they need to be successful. I think everybody gets a little bit less volume, but the team overall offensively is better because of it.
Yeah.
My tight end for $10 more, I went with the surefire first ballot slam dunk Hall of Famer Travis Kelce. 2013 Topps Chrome PSA 10 is $100. That team in Kansas City this year, I know they added Juju Smith-Schuster. I know they added Marquez Valdez-Scantling. MVS is a guy who his entire career has all the physical tools except for the fact that on the ends of his forearms are 2 concrete blocks. Dude can't catch.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about him taking touches. Juju Smith-Schuster, he had one amazing year, and then he's just been dinged a little bit, and he was a victim of old fat Ben Roethlisberger for 2 years, not really helping out the receiving core there much. He could be solid. Travis Kelce is Patrick Mahomes' go-to, locked in. I will be shocked if he has a fully healthy season. He's going to have 100 catches. He's going to have 12 to 1,300 yards. He's going to have 10 to 12 touchdowns. He is a surefire, locked in, first ballot Hall of Famer. And if the Chiefs somehow come out of the AFC and win a Super Bowl, it would not shock me if Travis Kelce rides off into the sunset. And if he does, that's a $300 card.
Yeah, I like it. My favorite pick is next.
Okay.
It is also my cheapest purchase.
First wide receiver?
First wide receiver.
Okay.
For $25. Scary Terry McLaurin.
I don't hate it.
Here's why I like him. The guy's a freak. G and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. Gary, for those of you who don't know who G is. And I was kind of on the fence with him just because how much can the market move? Well, when I looked up comps, his PSA 10 Prism base rookie is $25. Some of them are going for $15. He is a star receiver selling for less than the cost of grading right now.
Correct.
In a 10.
Yeah.
He has an actual quarterback now.
Which he's never had.
Yeah.
At any point in his career.
I feel like the media wants him. Like, he's one of the players that people in the sport want to succeed. They talk about him the way that they're starting to talk about Justin Fields being screwed by being at the Bears. Yeah. It's the same conversation.
He just got a big contract.
Yeah, you want him to make it. You want it. So I think, $25. I think he's underpriced. He's half the price he should be, in my opinion.
There's
I think he's
a
$50
where the
player
Redskins
right now.
win 10 to 11 games.
Yep,
and they make the playoffs.
They could hit a wild card, whatever. But he's going to keep putting up these numbers. If he has a quarterback that can throw,
he could legitimately be 1,100 this year.
Yeah, I think his. I think so. This $25 card is probably the biggest win. I think it could be a $100 card.
Yeah, I'd say anywhere from $50 to $100 realistically, especially if they make a run late in the season.
But $25. If you're somebody that likes to invest in receivers, if you're seeing any of these 10s floating around for $25, buy them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worst case is you're
never losing money on it.
Yeah. You
Never.
could lose $25, but
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
He's well liked.
Yeah. My first receiver, Justin Jefferson. There's a very strong argument to be made that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. It's a toss-up between him and Davante Adams, in my opinion. Unlike a lot of people, I don't hate his quarterback situation at all. Kirk Cousins is pretty good. In some ways, really good. Can make all the throws. And Justin Jefferson is a technician as a route runner. He's fast. He wins at the point of attack. He wins at the top of the route stem. Again, a guy who very, very conceivably floor is 1,200 yards, ceiling is 16. He's going to score 8 to 12 touchdowns, and he's going to look good and get a lot of media attention doing it. He's a very popular player. His base Prism PSA 10 as of right now is about $80. Would not shock me, especially because I think that the Packers are due to drop off. They just don't have anybody to throw to. If the Vikings win that division, that card could easily be a $160, $180 card.
All right, on to my most expensive receiver.
Yep.
You know I had to do it. Tyreek Hill. I have a reason for this too. Everything coming out of camp and just different people keeping an eye on things that love to bash Tua are even saying that he looks pretty solid. We don't know if it's true yet. I've been saying it for a couple months. I'm giving him 5 weeks to figure out if he can throw. But here's the good thing about Tyreek Hill. If Tua can throw, he can meet him 30, 40 yards down the field. If Tua can't throw, there's still a way to get the ball to Tyreek 5 yards downfield and see what he can evade. I think he's going to have a ton of touches and a lot of yards. I do not think this is going to move a whole lot, but with him being traded, there was a little bit of a dip, leaving the Chiefs. So at $200, I could see this being a $250 card, maybe $300.
And that's 2016 Prism, correct?
Yep, 16 Prism. Oh, and Terry McLaurin was 19. I didn't write that down. $200. Kind of a safe play. Obviously, he's a freak athlete, but if Tua throws the ball, interesting things can happen with that card.
Yeah, I agree. My next receiver is Davante Adams. This is going to blow your mind. 2014 Prism. Base Prism, PSA 10. You want to take a crack at what that goes for? This is arguably the best receiver in the game for the last 5 years.
Well, now you've $120.
$80.
No way.
Yep. $80. Now, you want to talk about a team that has a rabid fan base full of crazy people? It's the Raiders.
I think I have his camo tops, rookie.
Yeah. If Davante Adams stays healthy all year and puts up big numbers, that's a card that's going to see a 50% increase during the season and leading into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Leading into the playoffs, not the Super Bowl. I don't necessarily think the Raiders are a Super Bowl team. I think they're a playoff team. But for $80, a guy that, again, at this point in his career is knocking on the door of being a surefire Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And 2014 Prism was not a heavily printed product. It's relatively low pop. Mm-hmm. Like you said on the Terry McLaurin's, that's one I was like, I need to go buy a few of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to go buy a few of those.
All right, my last receiver. We had to guess a little bit on PSA 10 pricing because all we could find was 9s or SP stuff. But I have DJ Moore. His PSA 9 was going for like $8 to $10, so we're going to 10x that and call it an $80 card. You might find better deals out there for sure. But we felt like that was safe without padding the stats too much and keeping my budget too low. Here's the thing. Baker Mayfield is a tremendously insecure person. And his feelings have been hurt. And for good reason. The way that he was handled was not right. I don't care what you have to say.
Thank you for admitting that.
The way that he was handled was not right. It's very insulting for you to be a professional in any career and for them to handle him the way they did. There's some of that just goes with the territory of being in the limelight. But here's what I'm banking on. Baker, in his mind, right now, is thinking, I'm either throwing 10 touchdowns or 10 picks the first game, but I am throwing the ball.
Yeah.
He has a chip on his shoulder. It could be really good. It could have humbled him a little bit. It could be something that's just motivating him. You know, you listen to the greats. All they needed was that fuel of somebody not believing in him anymore, and that really took him to the next level. I think he is going to be slinging the ball, especially the first half of the season. If he has some chemistry, if the play calling and everything else works out, I think DJ is going to get a lot of targets. I mean, he's been getting 1,100 yards for the last 3 years in a row. Only 4 touchdowns last year. Baker can get the ball there.
Quarterback play there was terrible last
Baker
year.
can get the ball there. He's at 80 now. Man, I think that card could double. I do. That's a bit aggressive, but I think it's possible.
If they make a playoff push.
Yeah. So for $80 on him, if you see his 10 out there, there's really not any comps in the last 90 days that I could find.
You can buy his base autos raw for $40.
Yep.
That's steal.
Yep. Well, let's hear how you're rounding it out.
My last one was my second highest priced card, 2015 Prism. It's a silver because, again, the bases were variations. Stephon Diggs, $225, PSA 10, 2015 Prism, silver. Very simple logic. I think the Bills go to the Super Bowl. I think the Bills are the AFC representative to the Super Bowl, and I think there's a very good chance the Bills win it all. I think that Josh Allen is going to come out with a massive chip on his shoulder. He's so sick of the memes of his face after they lost the coin flip that he is going to come out a man on a mission. And Diggs is – this is probably bold discussion because he isn't the most physically gifted receiver in the league by a long shot, but he is the best route runner in the league. The chemistry he has with Josh Allen is stupid good, and he is low-key a top 5 receiver in the league. And you said it earlier, the NFL is one of those, when it comes to the hobby, if you're making a playoff push and you get a deep run into the playoffs, if the Bills go to the Super Bowl, the time to unload your Stephon Diggs stuff is going to be that 2-week window between the end of the playoffs and the Super Bowl.
People in the hobby want the Bills to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
They want Josh Allen. They want Diggs. They want the city of Buffalo, Bills Mafia to
I want Gabe Davis because I have a lot of Gabe Davis.
But it's a town, it's a dog that you want to root for, right? And the Pats, so far, it's not looking great. I'm sure they find a way to scrape.
They figured out who their play caller was going to be.
Oh.
You know who it was?
Who?
Matt Patricia.
Oh, my gosh.
Poor Mac Jones.
So that's looking good.
Do you think Josh McDaniels is in Oakland just going, what the?
They just have to get, Bills just really have to find a way past Miami.
Okay.
For the division, bro.
Okay.
You don't agree?
Miami's going to have to show me something that you know how I feel about Tua, and in the NFL, if you don't have a functional quarterback, you're not very good.
Oh, I meant to tell you this, listeners. If somebody does any kind of editing, I would gift you some type of sealed wax for you to do a montage of all the horrible things Gary said about Tua. I'm dead serious. $50. I'm going to pay $50 if somebody will cut that together, match it up, throw a little music in the background. Because if Tua bombs, no big deal. Gary always is thinking he's right anyway. But if Tua throws the ball,
You're going to make me look like Skip Bayless, aren't you?
There's going to be a month of that being the intro to the podcast. I'll tell you that. Part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
It can't be just one good Tua game, though.
I said
he has to have like a solid month of good play.
I said 5 weeks.
Okay.
We're going to know.
I'm not too worried about it.
Man, if I'm right. The joy it will bring me. All right, this has been Ballin' on a Budget. I like doing that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. And then we just need to keep these lists, and at the end of the season, let's see where we're at.
Maybe we could throw something on socials to see what everybody else comes up with, too.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thanks for engaging on socials, Facebook page, Facebook group. And a reminder, once again, before we head out, if you haven't taken a chance to leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, it would sure mean a lot to us. It helps us get the word out to expand into greater parts of the universe with our message.
Okay. That was very grandiose for what we do.
I stand
There
by
are
my
aliens
words.
somewhere that are like,
Bro, there's
sports
aliens
cards?
everywhere.
Sports cards?
Bro, we have a space force for a reason, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. Aliens show up and they have to take one person back with them between me or you. Who is it?
To take back for what purpose? What is the purpose of them
Well,
taking
if it's
somebody
patient zero, it's you. To study human metabolism would probably be me. How is it so low? What do they do down there?
Do you feel like the aliens would be like, this is our... Do you think they would look at us like we look at the presidential election every 4 years? Like, this is what we have to pick from?
We have no options.
This is what... Is there not a third party that we can...
Sir, he's wearing shoes made of rubber with holes in them. Looks like that cheese we found over in Europe. But they also have a sport mode.
And this other guy has lots of socks with cartoon characters? I'm very confused.
We should stop.
Okay.
I feel like we went too far with it.
What has this been?
This has been the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
Bye now.
Peace.